What's going on? What I say? Welcome back to my channel. I am Serene, and today's video is going to be Married at First Sight season 15 episode 10, I think it is. Moody month anniversary. Okay guys, I think my general overall thought about this season and these episodes is that I feel like it's the same problems just being dragged out across each episode, and I don't feel like we're moving on from this. Like, everyone is saying they fixed it, but they're not really fixing their problems, which is making it a bit boring, to be honest, to watch. But we can talk about them nonetheless. So we have Morgan and Ben, and child, I don't know if they're gonna make it. No, let me scrap that. They are not going to make it, and if they make it, I am going to be surprised. Surprise. So we obviously picked up where we left off last week, which is Morgan is storming out of the house, Ben is running down the hallway all shirtless and confused, and Alexis is out here telling Morgan that, you know, Ben is still going to my skin looks really oily. Ben is still going to Justin with their relationship issues, right? Okay. No, I think from a woman perspective, I understand why Alexis did what she did. But Alexis, like I said last week, this is not your business. Like, let them figure it out together by themselves. Like, and I'm not saying that Ben is correct in his actions, but what I'm saying is that this is not Alexis's business. She's not supposed to be going to tell Morgan anything. But Ben, also, you are the problem. You know how your wife is. Do not be going to Justin. Like, first of all, why are you even going to Justin? Like, have you seen Justin's marriage? Have you seen the way Justin deals with his emotions? Justin is not sound or wise advice. Like, I understand that might be his closest friend, and you know they're going through something that is difficult and they want to converse about this stuff, but your wife don't like it. And you know, from Ben's perspective, I understand, like, there must be someone that he can confide in, because surely they all speak to each other. You know, you might not give full details of what the issue is in your marriage, but to be able to talk things over with someone that understands what you're going through is necessary. But your wife don't like it, so I don't even know how that's gonna work. So obviously it's month anniversary. They're supposed to be celebrating the first month of marriage or whatnot, and before they met up for their 1 month anniversary, this is Morgan and Ben. Morgan goes to martial arts, and she is talking about everything she's about to do to Ben when she gets there. Like, she is plotting and scheming, and I'm like, yo, she sounds so vindictive. She sounds so vindictive, but I was like, okay, this is about to be turn up. So they get to the venue. So Ben planned that they were gonna go to their wedding venue, and then they would spend the night in their honeymoon suite that day, you know, after the wedding and stuff like that. And I guess that was just to bring some nostalgia, to take them back where they were at, I guess, at their happiest. And boy, did it backfire. So Ben has like these flowers. They were roses with thorns, the irony. So bunch of roses that have thorns, and he's trying to hand them over to Morgan, and she's just grabbing, and he's like, yo, take your time, they do have thorns, She take them and drop them on the floor. I was just like, you did what? I was so like, yo, girl. She dropped them on the floor and she went into him, and he's denying it. But the thing is, I'm a bit confused, because he seems like he genuinely doesn't know what she's talking about. And I don't know if Alexis misunderstood what him and Justin were talking about, because she said to her friend that Ben has been saying that Morgan is upset that he comes from a perfect family. But I don't even know how he would have said that, because I don't think he thinks he's come from a perfect family. So I find, that to be interesting. I really wish that the four of them would sit down so that us, the viewers, could really know what's been said, because I don't believe what's been translated over to her is completely correct, or has the context that it needs, because he looked confused. He's just like, so I'm not allowed to speak to anyone that we're in this process together with. He looks confused. He's just like, we've only spoken about you being a nurse. Like, he looks confused, and I don't know if he's pretending to be confused, or if he's being confused because he doesn't really understand where she's coming from, or if he's confused because the way she has received the information is actually completely wrong. So I don't know. I am not sold. But Ben looked confused. He looked sad. She didn't come back to the honeymoon suite, and it looked as if he was crying. He looked completely deflated and defeated. And I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for her, but I feel sorry for him because he looks like he genuinely doesn't know what to do. Whereas she is very much shut off from the entire process, to be honest. Like, she just completely shut off. And later on in the episode, they do have like couple dates. Like, all the couples come together to meet up, and they did not turn up. And Alexis knew that Morgan wasn't going to come, and Justin knew that Ben wasn't going to come, but didn't know why. And if they did know why, they definitely did not tell the group. So the group was just like, oh, we don't know. So then we go on to Kristen and Mitch. Kristen meets up with her friend Zoe, and they're making candles. And, she's telling Zoe that, she is happy, but, there are a lot of things about Mitch that is beginning to rub her the wrong way, basically. She doesn't like the fact that he's talking about her flipping houses the way that he does. And like I said last week, this is a ideology. This is they just have a lot of differences in ideology and value. And I think that matters a lot when it comes to a marriage, because he's very much like save the planet, hug the trees, clean the seawater. And as much as she's like that, he is on the extreme end. And you know what the extreme end is all about? Rebellion, control, temper tantrums. Like, he's a child. Whereas she just wants to be able to live a comfortable life. He can't see that that's what she wants. Like, he thinks she's gonna become like, well, he's acting as if she's a multi-corporation, like multi-million-dollar corporation that's trying to do these things, not someone that is just trying to make a living. So I know that is an issue, and the way she described it to her friend is just that it's continuously being discussed. So obviously that is a problem for her, especially with someone that seems to have like ambition and drive and just wants to be able to live a comfortable life. Like, all of us should. Okay, that's not what I want to say. What I would like to say is, you shouldn't be just struggling in life for fun. Like, if there are ways for you to make your life easier, I think you should make your life easier. And I think that's what she wants to do. But anyways, for their 1 month anniversary, they do a trip out of town trip. And Stasia, because Nate wants a dog, Stasia has volunteered to take care of Luna. And boy, oh boy, Stasia's face when she was being told what she needed to do, the schedule for the dog, and she looked so freaked out. And I'm like, girl, dogs are hard, pets in general are hard work. Like, I'm trying to convince Henry, let's get a dog. I know it's hard work, but it's so much fun, But so she is freaking out about that. But Kristen and Mitch go on their honeymoon, on their 1 month anniversary out of town. And she's talking about she doesn't really want to bring up anything. She just wants to have a good time and have fun. And they're doing yoga. When they got there, they did yoga, and he was just grunting and making noise to the point where she just ended up laughing throughout the whole thing. And that yoga instructor seemed so annoyed, because it's almost as if they weren't taking the session seriously. He's over there and Kristen is laughing, and the yoga instructor is just like and I'm like, girl. So that was funny to me. But they discuss. He was like saying something about, you know, him releasing his tension is like releasing the tension in a marriage or some shit like that. And I did not get it. I got it, but I was just like, okay, it's not really necessary. But anyways, they get back home. They had a good time. They said they got back home, and you know, they found the gifts from the experts with their vows, and you know, all of these stuff. And you know, he read his vows, and he seemed to have felt guilty because he feels like, it's almost as if he feels like he's not living up to what he said in his vows. And he did consider himself to be a bit, what you call that, judgmental? Yes, judgmental. He's not being the husband that he vowed to be, because he is being judgmental about the things that she value and the things that she would want for herself. He feels like, you know, it's not good, and he's portraying that in the way he deals with her, speaks about it, and that's like really shitting on someone's dream, to be honest. So anyways, they get to the couples date, you know, with all the couples, and you know, Mitch started to spoke about, you know, him finding it a bit difficult in the marriage, you know, to maneuver marriage life and stuff like that. And y'all, it was Kristen's turn to tell everybody how she been feeling. And I don't know who I don't know who gave her something to drink, but Kristen was speaking everything, and she's basically like, she doesn't know when she's gonna snap, or if she's gonna snap, because she feels like she's the only one compromising, and she feels like she's losing herself a bit, and she doesn't want to say that she's the only one putting in all the work, but she feels like she's putting in most of the work, because she is having to do all of the compromising to make sure that he feels comfortable, as he's reciprocating that behavior. So Justin is shaking his head, and you know, not Justin, sorry. So Kristen says that, and Justin is just like, you know, but you know, Mitch, I feel like the Mitch I met when we first came here, like I feel like you've grown so much, which was literally in contrary to what Kristen just said, because Kristen was saying like, yo, everyone keeps saying Mitch, you've grown, or Mitch, you're doing well, but everyone is overlooking her. Then here comes Justin piping up, talking about, oh, but Mitch, I feel like you have grown a lot, and the Mitch that I met when we first started the experiment is not the Mitch now. And Alexis is holding her breath, and you could see her in her face, she was uncomfortable, and she's just like, she's not gonna say anything. She then ends up in confessional saying like, you know, I want to say stuff, but you know, he's so sensitive, I have to think about so much of his feelings, that she just prefers to just listen. The listening part is gonna mean something in a bit. So now we get on to Alexis and Justin. You know, Alexis, where was she went? Oh, she went out with her friend, and she was talking about the fact that she feels like she's on a emotional roller coaster. Loving you is never healthy. She feels like she's on an emotional roller coaster with Justin, and I get it, because like I said, the people is tired of him crying and just having like these outbursts of emotions. Like, he gets there so quickly, it's so interesting, and she's usually so calm, so sometimes I'm just like, I don't even know why either of them are going back and forth, because she's calm and he is in his feelings, but I don't know, we don't see everything obviously. But she says she's feeling drained because he doesn't know how to self-regulate. And he then was with his brother fishing, and he was saying that, you know, he feels that he has like these random outbursts of emotion, and he said no one ever called him out on it. And I'm like, that's interesting. So you have siblings, you've had exes, you have a mom, no one has ever told him that he be having random bursts of emotional outbursts? That is so interesting to me. But then it also shows that this is why people need therapy, because if he as an adult doesn't know how to self-regulate his emotions and not transfer those emotions onto people, that shit is interesting. because it means that he is an emotional burden. And we don't need emotional burdens when we're in marriage. Like, you want to help your partner, but you're not supposed to be carrying the relationship emotionally on your own, because at some point you need to also be able to offload on that other person. And if you can't, because you have to be that emotional strength, it becomes a problem. It becomes a very, very big problem. So Alexis was in confessional saying that, oh, was she in confessional? She was somewhere, child. And she was saying, if she had to say yes on decision day, she would be uncomfortable. And if she said no on decision day, she would be uncomfortable. And she meant like in the present time. If she said yes, she would be uncomfortable. If she said no, she would still be uncomfortable. But, they had a month anniversary. I think they just stayed at home doing art and craft and being very crafty and creative. Alexis has that side to her. And, Justin was saying like he feel like they don't have enough time, and she was just like, I don't understand what you mean. Can you explain that? And he was basically like, I don't feel like we have enough time for me to be able to fix this. And she said, she was basically telling him like, yo, it's not about whether you like, it's not about just thinking about if we have enough time, because she was like, she's not even counting the weeks. It's just that the time that they do have left, they should, try to think about the positives and work on creating good memories. And she was just like, it's not like we've had only bad memories, we've had good memories. And she started to point out these things, and he was like, yeah. And which I found interesting, because she's typically the one that is so hard and like strong in a relationship, and he's so emotional, but he isn't even thinking about the good times that they're having. She's the one that's having to point out like, hey, we've done this, we've done that, like we've had good times in our relationship. We just need to continue building those good times. And it shows me that she actually cares about him. He, on the other hand, is focused on all the bad that he's done and thinking about, well, I can't right these bad things wrong because I don't have enough time to do it. Interesting. Like, their dynamic is very, very interesting. And honestly, I'm not saying that she is any better in a relationship than he is. What I am saying though is that she seems to be a bit more grounded emotionally, and a bit more open to it working emotionally. He seems like he's open because he's emotional, but he's almost like he's too negative for you to even think that he's trying to actually make the relationship work. I hope that makes sense. Probably not. Then we go to couple date, right? So all the couples are going around saying how they feel, and she said she had already said, remember in confessionals, she had already said like, hey, I'm just gonna do listening. I don't feel like really talking. So now we get to the table, and she said like, I don't feel like talking right now, I just want to listen. And he gets offended. I think Justin is one of those people that need to be in the spotlight. Hear me out. And if he's not in the spotlight for the good reasons, it makes him upset. I feel like he listened to all the other women and men talk about their spouses, and he thought that Alexis should talk about him. As a matter of fact, they never showed us him talking about Alexis. At least I don't remember seeing it. I don't remember him saying anything about their relationship. But she told him like she doesn't feel like speaking. She doesn't feel like speaking right now. And he got offended, basically, because that's what he did. He got offended, trying to figure out, well, why? And she's like, oh, nothing, I just don't feel like speaking. And he made that about him, as if like she felt that he did something wrong. And that started the argument. And she was trying to explain to him like, hi, I'm telling you that I don't feel like speaking at the moment. Like, it's not about you. Like, don't make it about you. But he could not get it, child. And then she ended up walking away. And she was in the bathroom with Stasha. And, she was saying like she feels like he's so emotional, and she always has to appease him or coddle him like he's a child because of his emotion. She even likened his emotion stroke passion And she basically said like it's hurting her because he would do things, and when he's calmed down, he comes back and then says that she's right, but then it doesn't remove the hurt. She's like, you're apologizing, yes, but like it doesn't mean that it's hurting any less. And I don't know, they seem to be communicating past each other. And as much as I was rooting for them in the beginning, they are not going to make it. They are definitely not going to make it in this relationship. Then we go to Lindy and Miguel. And they seem to be doing really, really well. Like, Miguel does like Lindy. Lindy likes Miguel. Lindy is, I don't know. I'm still not completely sold on it for some weird reason. They look like they're going to work. They look like they're going to decide to stay together after decision day. But I'm just not sold on their relationship, and I don't know why. But anyways, you know, they had their 1 month anniversary. They went like on a boat trip, like a boat ride, nautical team according to them. And it was cute. You know, the weather wasn't too good that day, so it was thundering and you get the thunderstorms, and they probably headed back to shore and stuff. But you know, they also got the package with their vows and, you know, all of the pictures from the day of their wedding. And Lindy was being so negative and extremely critical about everything. And I don't know if that's turned Miguel off. We need to see what happens next episode. But he was very much like, yo, you're being very, very negative. Like what's the reason? What was the reason? But you know, they seem to be doing fine. They go to the couples trip and they're talking about, she's basically calling Miguel like perfect, and he's saying like, you know, he really likes her, they're comfortable. They seem to not have, they have issues, obviously every couple does, but they don't seem to have any real issues that would make you believe the relationship is not going to work. They seem to be walking through everything. As a matter of fact, Miguel was saying that he read an article where reliability and predictability in a relationship is what determines if a relationship will work. And it was interesting the way he described it, because he said, although her behavior isn't predictable, he can predict that it's not going to be predictable, and because he knows it can change, there's still some comfort in knowing there's some comfort in knowing the predictable unpredictability or the unpredictable predictability, child, whichever one is English. You get what I'm saying. So we go to Stasha and Nate, and they have turned things around this week. You know, Nate is saying that he is falling in love with Stasha. He's at 7 or 8, you know, for their month anniversary. They had a picnic. I like the couples that have done like the more simpler things. I did like Alexis's little craft, whatever, and Stasha and Nate, they had a little picnic, you know, not too expensive, just something for them to sit and enjoy, you know, themselves. I really thought those were cute, because those are good, like, inexpensive ideas of things to do. But you know, like, Nate is falling in love with her. Her gift to him was that they have matching tattoos. I think that is amazing. I like the idea of that. I would like to have matching tattoos with Henrik. I never discussed that with him, but you know, I don't know what his pain tolerance is like, because but I would like to have matching tattoos. I think that's amazing. But yeah, you know, they got matching tattoos. They even went to the lawyers to sign the post-nuptial agreement that they had discussed in their honeymoon. And you know, she discussed them having joint accounts, and you know what that would look like if they were to get divorced and stuff, if they're putting money into the account and stuff like that. And you know, honestly, they are doing well. You know, she spoke with her mom, and her mom was just saying like, you know, if he's beginning to show you, like, allow him to show you and trust. But the mom thought that, you know, because Stasha has seen her go through a bad relationship, she thinks that that's where Stasha's relationship with trust comes from, and why it's so bad, because she's seen what her mom lived through. But they are coming together really well. It's changing my mindset about Nate a lot. I really, really like them together, and I think they're gonna work. So even at the couples date, you know, they were just bigging each other up. Like, Nate repeats now in front of the guys, like, you know, I'm falling in love with her, and you know, she's almost like my best friend, and I want my best friend there. And that is beautiful. Like, I'm so happy for them. They look amazing together. They are like the power couple of the group, And honestly, they seem to be working really well. I have no bad things to say about them at all. So yes guys, this comes the end of my review for Married at First Sight season 15 episode 10. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this episode and the progression of each couple down in the comment section. Bye.